So you can speak of your perspective either being on reality TV, but I think really I want just your perspective in general. How do you think reality TV has impacted anxiety in millennials? Because we were also the first generation to really watch reality
Yeah.
TV. Or do you think it hasn't impacted our mental health at all?
I mean, this could be a whole nother, we could probably start a whole podcast about this. So I think about this a lot. And one of the big reasons I think about it is because, and I've said this before in different contexts, but I had done a lot of work on my mental health, my wellness, my health in general. And I had really eliminated a lot of unnecessary drama or a lot of negativity out of my life. And that's from friends, family, all of that. But opening my life up to basically the whole world really showed me kind of how damaged and hurting and struggling so many people are that didn't have access to the tools or didn't have the wherewithal to be self-aware or whatever that is. And so what I think reality TV has done is it has taken a lot of trauma and it has given people an outlet to project these traumas on people they see on TV under the guise of it being real life.
Yeah.
And I can tell you, and I've spoken to 100 plus reality cast members from across the world from different types of shows. And very rarely, I'm going to say very rarely because there's people I haven't talked to, but everyone I've talked to is like, it's not real.
Yeah.
These are manufactured situations that are outside of the norm. And it's presented to you like it's a documentary. And it's just not. And by the way, documentaries have their own problems, as I've recently found out. Working with the people of a documentary called Subject, which is focused on how documentary filmmaking impacts people's lives. And it's a lot of the same issues that we found with reality TV. But I think it's that it's giving people, and the internet plays a part, right? It's giving people this ability to project their trauma, their insecurities, their jealousy. And I'm not afraid to say it, like, people are jealous because they think they could have handled it better or they would have done better or they make a really good reality TV and like they just don't know. So it's just these projections, these insecurities being spewed all over the internet and in real life, and the jealousy and the envy and all of these things together, I think are just, and it gives people an outlet because they watch it and they think it's real. And that one of the things that Dr. Isabel Morley from the UCAN Foundation, who's also a clinical psychologist, says is that these shows are normalizing abuse. They're normalizing these bad behaviors. And even if they're not as bad as they might look on TV, or they might be worse than they look on TV, because it's edited and your mind is like programmed to believe in what you see, that you may even know this is an edited, not real show. But still, there's this piece of you that, like, I saw this. These are real people. It's not a scripted movie. And it's like this weird thing. So I think the impact it's had is, I think it's crazily impacting the cast members. And then I also think it's giving an outlet to people who are viewers, and not everybody, of course, but like an outlet to project trauma and insecurities and jealousy and envy and hate and inner ugliness onto other people that they would probably never do in real life. There's always going to be someone that will, but there's very rarely these people that are being mean on the internet. Or like, I don't go on Reddit, but holy cow, when people send me stuff that's on Reddit, I'm like, who are these people? And why don't they have anything better to do? So I think that's the thing, is it's obviously impacting the participants and the cast members, but I just think it gives this weird outlet to the viewers to just project all sorts of stuff.
Yeah. No, thank you. I because I knew what you were going to say from the cast member side, but like, especially, with all your work with the UCAN Foundation and just like being on it and just thinking of our conversation with, our generation, like, I think what was The Real World is always what I think of as like one of the first like reality
the OG
TV shows and things like that. And or even just like I remember watching a lot. I don't watch reality TV really anymore, but even being like in college and like I cringe when I reflect on me saying this, but I remember saying like I watch reality TV to like make me feel better about myself, but in reality I didn't feel better because then like you said, you start hating people for like I don't know these people, but the way they're like portrayed on social media or just, I mean,
in an edit.
There's obviously, in comparison, all those things. But I appreciate you answering that because I feel like that definitely, I don't know, that's something we didn't even touch on, how like TV and the whole media outside of social media has impacted our mental health. I know.
I think we should just start a podcast with things that, because I'm like, I could talk about that too. But I just think it's really unfortunate. And then what I find crazy is that like, I know for a fact that these shows have people on Reddit and they have paid commentators and stuff that they're hitting talking points. They're stirring up drama online to make things worse than they even have to be. So it's just an unfortunate state of affairs.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Because like we were talking about, movies, TV can be like a positive escape in mental health, but I feel like reality, and some people might argue like, oh, it makes me feel better, but we get so invested in these people. And like that can't be good for us.
No, I agree. It puts like the reflection. It's almost like the good or the bad, right? Like you see a love story, and I got to see both things.
Yeah.
For good or better or worse, like people that were just so invested in my love story that they didn't care about anything else, and then people who hate me so much for one thing or another, and it's just like, why are there such extremes? Like it's for entertainment purposes. Just sit back and watch it, and don't think you're doing anything other than watching a edited program for entertainment.
Yeah.
So that's a good question. That was a good question. You didn't disappoint. You were worried.
I know. Before we hit record, I was like, I'm hyping this up, but I was trying to like connect it to I knew what we were going to talk about. So.